Hello everyone, my name is SiC and welcome to my last video for the Faces of War mod. Or at least this video is going to be the last one for now, because in this video we will be playing as the last major faction which I have not played before. We are playing as the United States Army, as might have been given away by the M1 Garand I'm carrying, as well as most of these other guys over here. And yeah, we are on Sarani, which is the official map for ArmA 1, and the scale of it is much bigger than I remembered it being, but this little valley looked really cool to play in, and the buildings looked kind of like they belong in World War II, so they fit the theme quite well, I think. Also, this time around I am running this mod along with VCOM AI, which should change the combat behavior a little bit and hopefully make things a little bit more interesting to look at. Hopefully these guys will take a bit more cover behind trees and things like that, and yeah. One thing the AI mod does do is these squads can now communicate. So there are several squads scattered throughout this valley, but once one is in combat they will call on the others for assistance as well. So at some point more AI soldiers will be heading our way as reinforcements, and that might make things a little bit more tricky. However, of course, we do have the M1 Garand, whereas they have mostly Kar 98s, so we are in a bit of an advantage, not only because we have more bullets per clip, but also because, well, this is a semi-automatic rifle, right? So that's always going to be a little bit better than what everybody else is carrying. And this time around I also set up a trigger to make sure that the mission actually ends if and when we kill all the enemy soldiers in this valley. Which I didn't do before because I just wanted to throw together a quick little firefight to show off the units, but I figure it makes for a better video to have like a proper ending to it. Right? I'm sure you'll agree. So, this map looks actually absolutely great, by the way. I didn't play much on this end of the map because most of the campaign, at least most of the campaign parts that I played through, took part on the desert part of this map. And yeah, I don't know. I did enjoy when I got here, but I'd never seen this part of the map before, I don't think. Or at least if I did, it was a very long time ago. But I really like it. There's many trees over here. The scale of it is absolutely big, like with the mountain in the distance, it looks absolutely gorgeous. The only thing that doesn't really look good is if you look at this up close. You know, this looks kinda weird, but you know, that has improved over time. Like the mountainous region of Takistan, for example, looks a lot better than this.
There's an enemy. Rifleman. 200 meters. Man, 200 meters.
All right, get some cover here first.
5. Engage that man. Just ahead. 10. Fire that soldier. East. Reloading! 3, 2.
One thing I did notice with this AI mod is that the AI actually is a lot more aggressive in moving forward and not staying put so much as before, which is an interesting change. But now, there we go. Still some guys running out in the open though. I expected them to be in behind the buildings a little bit more. We look like we're doing a pretty good job of it so far, though. Because, yeah, the Germans are not in a really great position over here. Oh, crap. Right there, between the trees. I can't see anything. I mean, they're spread out in a nice firing line at least, that's interesting. So I guess this is one of the squads that came for reinforcements, straight up. Like I think these guys are supposed to be pretty close, but of course now they're here. So that's the one thing I don't really like about the VCOM AI mod, is that it can break the flow of a mission that you've made. So that's why I haven't used it very much before. But of course it does make for more interesting firefights with infantry reinforcements coming in from the flanks and things like that. So that's a little bit more interesting, but it does mean that, for example, if we move on from here, we might not see much more troops after this, you know, because all of them are flocking over here, and then the rest of the mission might just be a boring slog through the forest, basically. But I don't know. Some firefights are they're still firing at this position, but I don't see any movement over here, which is interesting. That BAR though sounds really, really fucking good. Like when that thing opened up, like it made me scared of being on the other side of it, you know. Oh crap. Oh crap. Ah, damn it. Come on, controls. There we go. And as before, you might notice I'm still running the death scream mod, of course, so people that get shot, they will make some horrible noises every once in a while. Alright, so he's down. He doesn't look like there's anybody else left over here. But you never know, you have to be careful. Rest of our troops are moving up, which is good. I do like this about the mod, is that they don't stay put for too long. Just like regular AI for ArmA, they kind of stay put and they don't move once they get into a firefight, or they move only very little. And these guys, they keep a move on, you know, so that's good at least. Does mean that this video probably isn't too long, which is good, because having to wait for the AI to get up and move 2 meters and then get down again and move up for 2 meters and etc. isn't very fun to look at, especially if all the enemy AI has been flocking towards this area. Oh. I'm on him. Oh man, that was almost friendly fire there. Come on. Yeah, that BAR, man. Holy shit, does that sound meaty. It's absolutely great. Oh, come on. Almost feels like the iron sights are a little bit off once you're leaning, but that's not really true. I think that was a hit, but probably his arm. Alright, let's move up a little bit as well. Get some trees in between us and the enemy so they don't see us too easily. But yeah, these guys, man, they're moving in for the kill. As you can see, they're almost ready, or almost where the enemy was at. Gotta keep an eye on our flank as well, because we might have some contacts to the left by the looks of it. But yeah, from a distance, these mountains look really good. But once you get up close, they look not so great. But, you know, it's better to keep them at a distance, basically. When you're creating a scenario, that is, you know, like if you want to make a mission here, it's better not to be in those mountains, because it looks kind of off. Sometimes, at least. Oh crap. And again, you've got to excuse the fact that the Germans speak English with the death screams, because they are on the Blue Force side and we are on the Independent side, which I still think is a little bit strange. Because, you know, Op 4 doesn't mean like the bad guys, it just means the opposing forces, and of course they are red, and usually, like in video games, we are used to seeing that blue are the good guys and red are the bad guys and stuff, but... And in this particular case, I think it's kind of interesting that for once, like the Wehrmacht is the blue fort, and then the Americans are the opposing forces, or the independent faction actually, but you know, basically the same thing, they're just a third faction that you can pit against each other. That guy is down, I think. Ooh. Got a guy retreating there by the looks of it, getting away from the grenades. Yeah, I've got some Germans that I can't see from up here. Wow. I would have never noticed that if it wasn't for like the target reticule thing there. Maybe I should turn those off later on, because, well, they're very useful sometimes. Yeah, you know, they do make up for the fact that the AI can't really tell you. It's like, oh, they're to the right of the building, 200 meters up a little bit, you know, that kind of thing. They can't tell you that specifically, so this is kind of like a compromise to get you more detailed information. And it does become inaccurate once you, you know, once the AI gets out of sight and moves behind trees and we can't see them anymore. You just get like an estimated position where they might be at if they kept moving at the same speed in the same direction. So that's interesting for me, at least. And that's also something that the AI does for itself. Like, they will actually fire through trees, or not through trees, but through bushes and foliage and things like that, based on an estimate. Which leads to, like, people complaining about AI cheating and shooting through trees and forests and things like that, which is not... Yeah, it's sort of true, but it's not because they can see that you're there. It's just because they guessed that you were there. Most of the time, anyway. Because you can see sometimes if you run up into a bush and you go down, you go prone, then sometimes bullets will crack overhead, because they basically remember, it's like, oh, he was moving with this speed in that direction. That means he should be around there now, and they just take a lucky shot at you, basically. And sometimes it connects because people don't expect the AI to do this sort of a thing. Oh, crap. I think... Oh, yeah. Whoa. God damn it. He was firing right at me. Where are all of my other guys? Got a nice little rabbit in the forest there, but I can't be the only person left. But we don't have a radio as well. Yeah, we don't have a radio, so I can't really... Damn it. It's so quiet. It's interesting. Alright, I guess I'm just going to move up and hope for the best, or maybe on the map. Oh yeah, looks like they're over here. They've retreated a little bit, by the looks of it. Don't know why. Because we're doing pretty well. We're taking our targets over here, and it's not much of a big deal, really, you know. That's interesting, because I did put some of the AI soldiers, I think I put one on that tower there. He's not there anymore. And I did not put one over there, but there was one over there. And that's just because AI, with VCOM AI, will also occupy buildings and towers and things like that. Though not as much as you would expect them to, maybe. But at least they will, because the vanilla AI does not, you know. They never go into buildings on their own, basically. But the VCOM AI actually does. So these guys recognize, oh, this tower is gives pretty good line of sight, and it would be a good idea to occupy it. And yeah, I don't think the game is set up to recognize that tower over there would be a good place to stand on. But this tower is, I think it's just like a designation, like this is a tower for observation, and that is not a tower for observation in the game. I think, I don't know how they set everything up, but I did notice it in another playthrough as well, when I was using VCOM AI, that they will occupy this kind of tower, but not that kind of tower. And that's interesting, you know. Alright, so we still got at least one German soldier running around in here. And there might be more. And he should be off to the left somewhere. Yeah, these buildings, they look old, right? They look like they could be in World War II. Especially that one, that looks like an old barracks building. Kind of reminds me of Poland a little bit, for some reason. Even though this map is not based on Poland. Yeah, it's kind of Eastern European, I guess. In that these buildings, they look kind of Eastern European, not Polish per se. They could be in the Czech Republic as well. Or Croatia or somewhere else like that, you know. Now, where is that last AI soldier? Let's just stick to the wall and move around to the flank, so I don't have to look in two directions to make sure that they're not coming from both left and right. Yeah, we're not done yet, so there's still somebody. It's interesting that my own team fell back though, because there's still quite a few people alive, and there's not many people left over here, so that's a pretty terrible decision to move back right now. Oof. Looks like that was the last guy as well. There we go. Yeah, I had many people patrolling this camp, and they all just went into the forest to help out the other team. And that's what I mean, is like we only had like the two guys, one in the tower and this guy in between the buildings. And this VCOM AI mod is good for, like, I don't know, kind of domination gameplay for online, I think. But for single player, where you basically look for a certain flow in the design of your mission, it's pretty bad, because like I said, like the objective, like this final objective, is basically empty, you know. And there might be a way to disable them from doing stuff like this, but I don't know for sure. I haven't really looked into it so much, especially because this was just designed to be a quick firefight to show off the weapons and the United States Army. And yeah, I hope it did that pretty well. Let's see. Wow, I got a lot of kills. 3 NCOs and 14 riflemen. I did have a pretty good run at spotting my targets though, I will admit that. So I think this map, it came out and it didn't have much foliage, and in that way it is a little bit like Operation Flashpoint and Everon and those maps for that game. And in the more modern games, especially on Generous, you have a lot more undergrowth in the forest, which makes things a little bit harder to see. And right now we had pretty clear line of sight, even though we're in a big forest. So if they ever did remake this map, they would definitely have to add some extra foliage to break up the underground of the forest a little bit. Anyway, that's it for this video. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of content, and I will see you guys for the next one.